Like a lot of startup stories, mine began with a problem, my problem. Although I've seen startups with an idea, often not thought through or researched, often not actually solving anything, just seems like a good idea. Or they think they are solving a problem without actually knowing what the problem really is. One such person wanted me to sell his product alongside mine. When I saw the product, my response was, there's 100 like this out on the market. Why would I want to develop yours? Your product has to be unique and forward-thinking. In 2009, I was diagnosed with cancer, resulting in a full lymph node clearance in both my right and left groin, leaving me with a debilitating condition called lymphedema. The lymphatic system is the draining system of your body. When lymph nodes are either removed or damaged, often as a result of cancer treatment, a blockage in the lymphatic system occurs. Fluid backs up all the way down the limb, causing the limb to swell. Lymphoedema is a lifelong, progressive, debilitating, and painful condition with no cure. Current treatments are compression bandaging, Current treatments are compression bandaging and active massage. Personally, I tried everything I could get my hands on, as well as regular treatments by a massage therapist. Compression wear is tight, hot, often bulky, and caused swelling on either side of the compression garment for me. Massage lasts a few hours before the fluid starts to build up again. These are the closest products to mine. All of these products are either worn within specific compression wear or tightly fitted. They also have to be measure fitted by a lymphatic specialist. Question. I question everything. I question the current treatments, asking what happens when you get bitten by a snake. They put compression bandage on you to stop the lymph fluid so that the venom cannot travel through your system. The same treatment is used for lymphedema. Lymph fluid flows through a non-return valve system by muscle contraction. Why would I put compression bandaging on a limb restricting the flow when the reason for the swelling is the lymphatic system is blocked? Excess fluid can be pushed to another area of the body, but lymph vessels are very delicate and can be damaged if the fluid is forced through them. Wouldn't it be better to have a product that provided me with a massage effect around the blockage to keep the fluid moving rather than letting it build up? Having first-hand experience of what was happening in my body helped me in this process, as well as talking to many patients in a similar situation. What I found was that everyone was ignoring the early warning signs. Wouldn't it be better to treat the early symptoms rather than waiting for the real problem to arise? So I studied the markets. I studied all the statistics. I studied the data that I could find on current treatments, and I found a lot of discrepancies between the so-called clinical studies. Also, the statistics on those suffering from lymphedema was virtually non-existent, as there is no register, and the diagnosis only happens once the limb is swollen. Market size is worked out on the number of compression garments sold, approximately 20% of the number of cancer patients. None of the data looks at the symptoms, discomfort, or conditions prior to the limb swelling, or the fact that not everyone wears compression wear. They just manage it and put up with the pain. I didn't want to wait until I was one of those statistics. I wanted to prevent my legs from becoming like tree trunks. I wanted pain relief from the pain, discomfort, in a comfortable product that I could actually wear. After seeing a piece of solar pill cover and trying it with instant results, I set out to find a way I could incorporate the plastic bubbles into some fabric so that I could easily and discreetly wear it within my clothing. Having a father who was a farmer that dissected the latest supper victim on our dining table gave me the understanding of anatomy, and a mother who was a seamstress, combined with my engineering and construction experience, helped me to find a method where I was able to design garments that were cool, comfortable, and actually worked. Word soon spread, and I found myself making garments for lots of people with amazing results. But there are those people that want the magic pill, the cure, and others in reality like the sympathy and attention they received. Lesson number 1, you can't help everyone. Those who did try the garment found relief from their pain and in some cases, life-changing results. I quickly realised that I could not keep spending hours and hours making garments for people, and so I was very conscious of not charging for my work and not making promises. Being a medical garment, I knew I was treading a thin line. I sought legal advice and was told to put everyone under a non-disclosure and non-liability clause so that everyone was aware of the risk. Everyone I spoke to signed the agreement. However, that didn't stop my massage therapist claiming that she was co-founder of my garment. When people see that you are onto something, they want to be on board, even if they don't actually do anything or do little to assist you. It was at this stage that my solicitor suggested that I needed to look at protecting my idea. So the long, very expensive journey of patenting began, with the growing number of people wanting my product for varying conditions from cancer, air travel, varicose veins, sportswear, to even horses and greyhound dogs. I knew I had to find a better way of manufacturing. My philosophy on this journey has been, if you keep knocking and the doors keep opening, then I keep walking, and so I did. The right people came along at the right time. One such person helped me put a Commonwealth grant application together, and we were successful in receiving a skills and knowledge grant. Halfway through, they wanted us to change directions and look at the Asian market. So the business plan was changed, as well as patents were not only lodged in Australia, Europe, US, Canada and New Zealand, but also in Japan, Taiwan, China, Singapore and India, which made my portfolio huge, along with the costs. The grant did introduce me to some design engineers who assisted me in coming up with the current design. A continual passive massage product that is placed on the area around the blockage, keeping the fluid moving, preventing it from building up. When placed on the body through normal movement, differential pressure is applied by protrudences or bubbles to the lymph vessels, producing the massage effect. Our initial product, a bra insert for breast cancer, comes in 4 sizes based on an international sizing matrix with no specialist fitting required. What comes first, the chicken or the egg? A question that I'm always asking. The truth is, it's all intertwined. If you have the capital, each stage is more achievable. Self-funding or bootstrapping requires considerable talent, discipline and self-belief. In Australia, 66% of startups never raise venture capital funding. Another 18% have tried and failed. Selling off part of your company without building its value and proving its potential early can be risky. Sorry. Because if you need to raise more capital, potential investors can be put off if they see that a significant portion of your company is owned by someone else. And how do you know the true value until you prove its potential? In the beginning, I didn't know that this product has the potential that it has. Only by testing the product on different conditions are we realising its full potential. International patents With growing costs, before we had a scalable final product ready for production, was in hindsight too early for lodgement. But once the train has left the station, there's no stopping it. Unless, of course, you want to lose it all. All patents have time limits. Once you lodge your pending patent applications, you have 12 months to lodge for international patents. When a country reads your pending patent and responds, you have a few weeks to reply, and in each stage there are costs involved, apart from the annual renewal fees. And if you get a difficult examiner, those rounds go on and on. But how do you get investors, get the product designed and produced without protection? In the meantime, there are pressures to get the actual product. Much to our frustration was the lack of quality and time delays by Australian manufacturers in developing prototypes. Then finding an overseas manufacturer, tooling them up and going through rounds with them to get the prototypes to the design that met all of my criteria. Getting them tested by patients all cost valuable time and money. Overseas manufacturer want large manufacturing runs. My minimum is 4,000 items. I need customers, marketing and funding in order to get my first production run. The need for an investor is paramount, which means putting myself out there, pitching, attending events, talking to anyone that could possibly help, following up on every lead, which sometimes leads to a dead end. Many people have put up their hand, but when we drill down to what they are offering, we find a great lack of actual expertise and ability to deliver compared to what they want. I was advised to put on a general manager and was told to give the prospective person a task, so I asked him to look at my website. He then proceeded to set up a domain and email address on my behalf, but then put it up for sale, expecting me to buy it back from him. As a consequence, I lost all my contacts through the loss of my email address, business cards, etc. Doing your due diligence is vital. Investors in Australia want assurance. You need traction, proven potential, but they also want to see that you have the conviction in your product to see it through. Even to get government assistance in the form of grants, you need to be able to put up 50-50. While many entrepreneurs try to raise capital through crowdsourcing, angel investors, IPOs, or financial backing by family, friends, or fools, not surprisingly, entrepreneurs who have bootstrapped their way to success are often rare to come by. Even crowdfunding costs money, depending on how much capital you need to raise. You need a marketing campaign to be really successful. We decided to undertake a low-cost option, a pre-market evaluation, as I could get a sample run of 30 items in one size only, offering participants a free product in return for feedback and ongoing support. To achieve this, I entered into an agreement with a marketing and social media expert. Frustratingly, only one post went out towards the end of the campaign due to her overcommitment and too many competing directions. Frantically, I had to take up the campaign, putting Facebook posts out to try to get at least some people on board. Without the media releases, email mailouts, support group links made it difficult to reach our target market, those who had undergone breast cancer. We did manage to get 16 people, mostly through word of mouth, and we are leaving it open for others to join at a reduced cost. If you are going to do something, be a part of something, be honest. Do what you say you will do, and don't try to cheat someone because you think one day they're going to be rich. That also applies to me. I have never given promises that I couldn't keep, made outrageous claims. I've always tried to follow through, although sometimes it takes me longer to achieve than I'd like. You need a good team behind you, people you can trust, who have your best interest at heart and who will stick by you, support you, prop you up when you're down, and give you valuable, honest guidance into the future, where you keep on going regardless. The pre-market evaluation of our initial bra insert for breast cancer patients to finalise our product design and documentation for the TGA approval is underway. Following an injection of capital and traction in this market, other designs will be developed and put on the market, as well as an evaluation of other potential markets. It is also hoped that funding will be injected into gaining clinical studies to substantiate our anecdotal evidence. We are currently having discussions with the help of the New South Wales Trade and Industry representative in China, with the Guangdong Medical Research Hospital and a Chinese distributor. Currently, we are awaiting a proposal from an Australian partner who, apart from carrying out a crowdfunding campaign, will assist us with our negotiations in China, as well as potential distributors and investors in other countries. There is an old saying, if you want to be rich, be an instant millionaire, invent something. Everyone forgets to mention the journey that inventing sometimes sets you on, let alone the cost, not only financially, in time as it's all-consuming, but in relationships. There is also the huge learning curve. So why do it? You never know where your journey will take you. I can honestly say that everything I have ever done in my life, whether it is work-related, travel, personal, or being sick, has led me to this place. All my skills, knowledge, experience, and even procrastination has got me to this point. I say procrastination because I know I frustrate people sometimes by not jumping to what seems to be a great thing. But I take the view that people reveal themselves in time, and those people have usually revealed themselves as not being the ones that I want to work with, or do not have the same principles as I do. I keep on learning and pushing myself, putting myself out there, even public speaking. Please forgive the unpolished public speaking. Yes, you get frustrated, annoyed. Yes, people try to rip you off, take advantage of you. But for everyone who does, you'll find 10 people who will be willing to help, believe in your product, and go out of their way to assist. Tips I've learnt along the way. Do your due diligence. You have to trust in your idea and its contribution. Being able to totally trust in your concept requires a whole lot of self-reflection and critical thinking. I've been challenged and received negative feedback, mainly from the so-called experts in the field rather than the patients themselves. In order to have faith in your idea entirely, you need to ask yourself the hard questions. Identify the strengths and weaknesses of your venture and adjust them accordingly. My motivation is that this product is the people that this product is helping. And I can honestly say, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. They keep me going. Find your motivation. Let go and allow, a hard thing to do. We are always told to set goals, be specific, make them measurable, attainable, time-bound, and tick them off. That's how it's done. Yes, you will achieve your goal, but then what? Set another one. I agree with setting goals, but enjoy the journey. Personally, I have always struggled with setting specific goals, as I keep shifting it. Truth is, I want it all. If you set a goal that is limiting, what about the possibilities? I truly believe that if you set a goal to be one of being happy, no matter what comes your way, it will bring you everything that you want, because that's what brings you to your goal of happiness. When you find yourself in a place where you are questioning everything, let go, go out, do something, have fun, and allow the journey to unfold. Then you will find the answers. The right people will come to you, the right place at the right time, and the whole world opens up to you. So enjoy your journey. Thank you. Questions?
How does the change, so in your product, you said that everything changes. Is that because it's built in, or is it because it's soft and massages against the skin through the movement of the body?
Everything changes in
like the extrusions, the dots under your massage where on the picture you had, you said it changes in height. Is that
okay? Yeah.
Built it in, or is it because it's soft and the product actually?
Yeah, it's partly because of the dome,
Yeah.
and when it's on your body, it just kind of rolls.
Okay.
So that's what creates the massage effect.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be really tight.
Yeah.
Just fit it on your body. Just normal movement makes it move.
And you have to be moving for that to take effect.
Well, the gentleman who had throat cancer, so he had his lymph nodes removed in his throat,
Yeah.
had a real turkey neck, and he wore it to sleep in bed at night, so not a lot of movement, no.
Yeah. And are the people who wear it supposed to wear it all the time, or is it just times in the day when it's okay?
Well, he only wore it at night time, he didn't wear it during the day.
Okay.
Depends on yourself and your circumstances.
Yeah.
I tend to wear mine every day during the day, but I don't wear it at night time.
Yeah.
Mainly because for me, a lot of my issues are around gravity. So, you know, it has to be pushed uphill.
And when you're laying flat, it's not such a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I was raising my legs all day, it wouldn't be such a big deal, but you can't live that way.
Yeah.
Although I've seen a lot of people try and they're like huge legs.
Yeah.
Because movement is a really important part. Because the lymphatic system works on muscle movement, you have to move. So exercise becomes an important thing to do.
Cheryl, thanks so much for sharing your story. It's really, really inspirational. I have a question around, we see a lot of founders who have something that is potentially patentable or has some kind of IP related to it, and they will not talk about what their invention is, let alone give away the secret sauce.
Yeah.
Did you have that issue? And looking back now, do you think that there's kind of a time, I mean, you can get people to sign NDAs, but is there a time in that journey where you're trying to tell people what it is you're doing, protect it at the same time, but advance the idea, where you can actually start showing people what it is that you're developing, like you have today? Is there some point on the timeline where you kind of go, actually, it's all right for me to start talking about this now in a more meaningful way? Once you get people to sign an NDA, realistically, you should be able to talk to them about it. And I come across the same frustrating thing, that there was the university in Wollongong had come up with a treatment for lymphedema. They wouldn't tell me what it was, but I was sharing with them what I had. And I thought that was, even though we'd exchanged NDAs, like, come on.
Yeah. So they even see it as a mutual NDA. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it took us a long time to find out what it was, and it's nothing like my product, so what was the big deal? And I always sort of took the attitude too is, okay, if you want to copy it, good luck. Because it took a lot to get it, and it's taken a lot to get it to a final product. Many years of, me sitting there trying to cut out these little tiny bubbles to start with and sewing them up, to having something that we can actually manufacture was a big process.
And protecting it too, I guess.
Yeah, so once we had that part that we could manufacture, that's when we actually went and got all the intellectual property around that, because that's when you have all the design work done, and that's what's protected. If you were to go too early, then what the design may change by the time you get to something that you can actually manufacture. So you just have to be wary about that. But I had to get it tested before anyone had even talked to me. So I was talking to patients, so I had to put them under NDAs and trust them and keep following up with them to make sure everything was okay. But as I said, it didn't stop my massage therapist from sending me a letter from her so-called solicitor to say that she was a co-founder.
You've had some crackers, haven't you?
Yeah. It's like, challenge.
Yeah.
That's me. I've got this sign over my head, challenge me. Yes, challenge.
Cheryl, so you had cancer in 2009?
Yeah.
So now it's 2018. Looking at what you've gone through, you're a remarkable person. I noticed on your timeline you started to kick things off. Was it 2013?
Yeah, that was when the Commonwealth grant started to really kick in.
Yeah. So was it 2012 then that you sort of started to get things
Yeah.
happening?
Yeah.
So now we're about 6 years later now. Do you think things may have been a faster journey if some of the things that are available now to aspiring entrepreneurs and education programs and the facilitation,
Yeah.
the accelerator program, even Entrepreneurs 101
Yeah.
here at university, that it would have been a faster journey and you would
Absolutely.
have been able to avoid some of those pitfalls that are actually a bit bear traps.
Yeah. I actually went to the business centre initially,
Yeah.
and they just looked at me and went, innovator? We're businesses. Have you got a small business? Are you selling something? I said,
So
no.
you probably get a different result now.
Absolutely. They were like, come in. Yeah. What can we do to help you? And yeah, they've been a great help actually.
That research report that you highlighted there from 2017, was that one that you commissioned?
The evidence on the,
The shapeware.
yeah, no, that's through looking at all the studies and the Australian Bureau of Statistics, and there's also a world statistical thing that's come up with that statistics.
So did it cost you much to obtain that information?
No, didn't cost anything. You can Google it.
Yeah, okay. You're a massage therapist, and did you, there's probably clauses of confidentiality that you probably can't speak about, I imagine, but was that those pitfalls or hurdles that you've encountered, they're not just sort of normal sort of business things, well they are, but they sound to me like they're very emotionally draining issues as well. Did that slow you down and just sort of make you question, is this all worth it?
Yeah.
Like that, and the GM prospect as well,
Yeah.
that was a shocker, that one.
Yeah, I mean, all of it's made me question it, particularly as I'm getting older. I think, what the hell am I doing? But yeah, and it sets you back emotionally quite a bit. But as I said, that's where I've got the support around me, and my advisory team are just 100%. Come on, Cheryl, you got to get this out there. And the patients themselves, they're the ones that have really kept me going, because to see the life-changing experiences that they had, some of them, like there was a girl, she had had breast cancer treatment 9 years ago, so she had been putting up with pain for 9 years, going home every day with a golf ball size swelling underneath her arm. All the compression wear just pushed it all up underneath her arm. She put the product on, came out of the bedroom and said, "Is this for real? I have no pain." It's like, yeah. Another girl who, it's been 18 months now since she's had her treatment, and I met her about 6 months after her treatment, and she had not had a full night's sleep since her treatment. She'd had she had lumpectomy, so 3 surgeries plus 33 radiation treatments. So she had a lot of scarring and nerve damage. she couldn't move. Like the pain of movement and just constant like burning sensation and things like that. She put on the garment, went to sleep that night, woke up the next morning, came running over to me and said, I can't believe it. I've slept all night, no pain.
So does it eliminate the need for analgesics and pain relievers?
I had another lady who had various veins. She was wearing compression wear and taking analgesics and whatever she could throw down her throat. Said at night time it just aches and aches and aches.
That's not a lymphedema
No,
issue either, is it?
no. So yeah, that's what I'm saying about the potential of it. We didn't know. I certainly didn't understand that. She just said, I just want to try it. Just let me try it. So she did. She slept all night. Who knew? The potential as far as scarring. Burn victims.
Oh, that was another question. So, with those issues that came up, did they actually cost you financially? For example, like go away money?
No.
No. You managed to sort it out.
Yeah, my solicitor just sent the massage therapist a nasty letter.
Oh, that's
Deceased and bugger off.
oh, okay. Oh,
And
easy resolution.
yeah, the general manager was probably the most costly because, yeah, lost of all contacts, anyone that received my card, business card.
What did, was it he or she?
He,
What did he hope to achieve out of it? I don't,
money.
just the one-time transaction.
Yeah,
Incredible.
yeah. Well, he saw that he didn't get the job, but he saw he saw that there was the potential, and I needed.
But he could have had the job.
Exactly. How did you do yourself out of a job?
And that was here in Newcastle.
He was from Sydney.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, someone in Newcastle, and that's a small town.
Yeah.
I know. I know. Some people have said to me Sydney can be really small too. So there's
Yeah, okay.
a few knives out. Yeah.
So you're looking for around 12 more people to take part in the trial, is that right?
Yeah.
And so breast cancer,
So small.
size small.
Yeah.
And so it's just for the bra insert
Yeah.
in that case?
Yep. So this is our bra insert. So very simple, and it's reversible, so it can be either side.
You might
Left or right?
find in fashion trend you do it the other way with lumpy bras. Could be like Madonna could start wearing it or something.
Try it. Potential.
So how long does that sort of trial go for? Is it?
Yeah.
What's the end game with that? Can you explain?
Yeah, we're only looking at a few weeks because being a product evaluation, not a whether it works and how it works and things like that. So it's not a clinical trial.
Right, okay.
It's just basically we have to ensure that there are no risks associated with it. All of our instructions that we have as far as how to use it, how to wash it, things like that, that they're easy to follow and people can understand them and all that sort of thing. Whether we've got the right shapes,
Yeah, okay. So it's
all the clips are in the right position, things like that.
yeah, okay. So it's just customer validation really with your sort of your MVP.
Yeah, so once we get all that information, and it's only going to take us a few weeks to do that, then we can lodge our TGA application.
Yeah, okay. Right, okay. And then how long does that process take, do you know?
For us, it's only a registration,
Okay.
so it only takes a week or so.
And then would you be looking at doing clinical trials in the future so that you can actually demonstrate?
Yeah, we'd love to do clinical trials, and that one of the things that we're talking to the Guangdong Medical Research Hospital about.
Okay.
We were going to do clinical trials here. I just don't have the money, and for me to try and get other people to put up the money for those trials in the hospital system, I'm private, so I'm commercialising. I'm not involved in the hospital itself, so it's really hard for me to get clinical trials done in the hospital.
Yeah, okay. But would there be an option then for you to actually, if someone was to come along as an investor to provide the funding for you to do a private clinical trial that wasn't necessarily related directly to hospitals, but using a pool of participants that weren't affiliated with any particular hospital, that's definitely something you'd be interested in?
Yeah.
There's on the co-ventured programs list, there's one, I can't remember the name of the company, it's like just two letters, like DR or VR. They own Durex worldwide, and they're looking for things like this for massage and things like that. A whole bunch of things, scents, sex toys, the next novel sort of things, and that could be an avenue for you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the names, like BR or VR. It's a massive organisation. I've never heard of it until I read into it. I thought, okay, this is the cartel behind all those other brands.
So the co-venture platform is partnering startups with corporates to for the potential for the corporates to potentially invest or buy out the startup.
Yeah.
I think that's the right sort of point for them to really look seriously.
Yeah, you were right, it's RB.
RB, that's it.
Reckitt.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just thought I'd show you these. This is one of those products. That's a size small.
Oh, that you were using?
No, that's one of those products that are on the market.
That was an option for you. Well, not for you, but someone who has breast cancer.
And that actually looks quite complex to manufacture. So yours looks like, is it just sort of one material?
Yeah. Well, it's a piece of bamboo cotton, and then they put closed cell foam, and then bamboo cotton, and it's heat pressed. So it's simple. And this is the other competitive product, which is just a foam.
And what, do you just cut that up or something to...
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but they smell after a while.
And it's all polyester and synthetic stuff.
Sort of thought, I know you're very focused on just getting this current sort of lot out. Are you looking in sort of your technology roadmap, sort of where else you might go, for example, electric stimulus, like, because there are like little mini tens, I think I've got one myself at a trade show, and you can put it on, it's all battery operated, and got my own little tens machine. And I thought, gee whiz, batteries are so efficient and small then, and could actually start to make it a bit more active for other things.
You've got to be careful with things like batteries and metal around particularly cancer patients that have gone through radiation and chemotherapy and that. So, and I know they're not allowed to wear bras with wire inserts. So it's anything to do with the metal. So, but as far as technology goes, yes, we have looked at that, and in talking to the distributor in China, he just sort of went leap years ahead and said, oh, we can do this out of 3D printing, and we can have it set up in all the hospitals so we can do individual tailored, And I went, when we have the material available in the world, yes, we might be able to do that, but right now the material is too hard. Would be very uncomfortable to wear, so no, we're not going down that road yet. But I have thought about if we can develop some sort of sensor that can detect the lymph flow, I'd be interested in that. There is a bioimpedance machine at the moment, but that's...
You got to hook yourself up to a kind of thing, hanging around. Well, and I just love the start of your presentation where you're talking about how you question everything, and I just couldn't help thinking about like the greatest inventors of all time, their stories doing exactly the same thing. I just think of Dyson, you know, like, why can't this cyclonic shape do
Yeah.
this thing?
Yeah.
I just loved how you, put the snake bite compression
Yeah,
stuff
no.
to stop the flow. Why would you use the same thing for trying to encourage flow, or just essentially moving the problem somewhere else in the body, really,
Yeah.
aren't you?
Yeah.
Doing that. So
Yeah.
good on you. I think that's just so amazing.
Yeah, and the other thing is the compression wear has to be fitted, because if it's too tight, it'll cut off your circulation as well.
Yeah.
And the other potential market too is aerospace. Because of the G-forces,
Yes.
it can stop their blood flow altogether.
Yeah, they can
Pass out.
pass out. Yeah.
Yeah,
So how would this?
God knows, but they use compression.
Yeah, they
But-
use a G suit that stops the blood from pooling down into below.
Yeah, I
It
think
stays
that's-
on 1G of
Yeah.
1G of force.
Yeah,
But, that's all it saves. What happens is they have wear this thing called a G suit, and it's connected to a hose.
yeah,
When the plane senses that it's undergoing G's, it pumps air into. You basically feel it around your guts.
Yeah, okay.
All this
Yeah.
pressure there.
yeah,
It saves you 1G force of.
yeah. Which when they did that study, they said that they don't like wearing those suits. They're too restrictive. So they thought this might work. I don't know. Test it, find out.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Cheryl, thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you.
That was great.